Live from the WMSB television studios at the College of Mount St. Vincent, this is Channel 8 News.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning into the Rosa Report. I am Desiree Rosa with my co-host Ciara Renee Rosa, and this is WMSB Channel 8 News. One of Hollywood's most thinkable stars, Paul Walker, made a name for himself in the movie Fast and Furious, died in a fiery car crash in California. Another passenger died in the same car crash. Both of them were attending a Walker's charity event, Reach Out Worldwide, which was intended to benefit the typhoon victims in the Philippines. The crash happened Saturday afternoon. The star was not behind the wheel. When deputies arrived to the 2005 Porsche, it was on fire, and both of them were pronounced dead at the scene. Walker was interested in cars both on and off the screen and was filming his 7th Fast and Furious this month. Hollywood fans are mourning his death and sending their condolences together. Ciara?
A 21-year-old Long Island man known as Thomas Lemming has been charged with second-degree murder of a 2-year-old homicide case this past Friday. According to officials, Lemming has been arraigned for killing his high school classmate and previous best friend Kyle Underhill after he surrendered to police on Friday. During the time, Lemming and Underhill were both 18 years old and had just graduated from Islip High School. Officials stated that Underhill's body was discovered in a marsh on Brook Street during November 2011. According to police, Underhill was beaten to death and left in the marsh near Underhill's Islip home. Although it appears that Lemming had no motive for the slaying, police stated that Underhill was last seen leaving his job at the local bakery with Lemming. However, Lemming's attorney, Joseph Carozzo, does not believe that the evidence against Lemming will stand in a trial and believes that his client will be found not guilty when the jury hears all the evidence. Currently, though, Lemming is being held on a $5 million cash bail. Desiree?
New York City was in shock yesterday after rail cars flipped over when a passenger train derailed Sunday morning, killing at least 4 people and injuring a dozen more. Emergency rescuers and firefighters fled the scene near Spuyten-Duyvil station in the Bronx. 2 train cars were turned on their sides and 1 car was just feet away from the Harlem River. 3 of the passengers that lost their lives were thrown out of the train, twisting and turning. Police have been searching the water for surroundings for survivors around the wreckage. Authorities believe that all of the passengers have been accounted for. However, at least 67 of them are injured and 11 of them are seriously injured. The train operator explained to the authorities that he applied the brakes on the train. However, the train did not slow down. 100 miles from Grand Central Station, the train derailed at 7 a.m. It is unclear why the accident occurred. However, it is currently under investigation. Ciara?
A 71-year-old NYPD traffic enforcement agent known as Kalyanara Ranasinghe was struck and killed by a large truck this past Saturday. According to officials, the accident occurred in the afternoon while Ranasinghe was working at 44th Street between 5th and Madison. Witnesses stated that Ranasinghe had been standing in the front of the truck's right headlight but was too short for the truck driver to see. The truck driver then put his vehicle in gear and accidentally ran over Ranasinghe. Witnesses stated that after Ranasinghe was rolled over, he did not move and everyone knew he could not be saved. Soon after, a Cornell University bus collided with the same truck while Ranasinghe lay dying in the street. When the police arrived, Ranasinghe and the truck driver were transported to a nearby hospital where Ranasinghe died of his injuries. The truck driver was reported to be in stable condition but in shock. According to the union vice president, Saeed Rahim, Ranasinghe had contacted him 10 days prior, saying that he felt uncomfortable and unsafe directing traffic and requested a job change. Little did Ranasinghe know that he would never get the chance to obtain that job change. Desiree?
China launched their first lunar probe, which will make it the only 3rd nation to soft land on the moon if all goes well. The launch took place at 1:30 a.m. Monday. Long March 3B rocket in Sichuan province, located in southwest China, is expected to land on the moon's surface in mid-December. The space effort comes just over a decade after the country sent their first astronaut into space. China is in hope of being able to survey the landscape first and determine the safest spot to land on. Landing the spacecraft will release Jade Rabbit. Jade Rabbit is a 6-wheeled lunar rover equipped with 4 cameras and 2 mechanical legs that can dig up soil samples. Ciara?
This past Saturday, the U.S. government had received a video and written apology from an 85-year-old U.S. American citizen, former North Korean war veteran, and current North Korean captive, Merrill Newman. Newman was detained in late October when he was visiting North Korea on a 10-day organized private tour. According to family members who were in contact with Newman during his trip, Newman had stated that his trip was going well until the day before his departure, when Korean authorities met with Newman and his tour guide and asked to discuss Newman's service record. Newman had stated that he felt uncomfortable during this interaction. Upon Newman's departure back to America, Newman was taken off his aircraft by North Korean authorities and was labeled as a Korean captive. Newman's family had not seen or heard from Newman until this past Saturday when the United States government received Newman's apology letter. In the letter, Newman apologized to the North Korean government for the crimes he committed against North Korea, including killing North Korean civilians and soldiers and destroying strategic objects. Newman also apologizes for trying to look for spies and terrorists who were fighting against North Korea on his recent trip to Korea. The end of the letter was signed by Newman with his fingerprint and was dated on November 9th, which has Newman's family and U.S. government wondering why the North Korean government withheld the apology from the U.S. for 21 days. Desiree?
4 people died when a small plane with 10 aboard crashed in southwestern Alaska Friday evening. The census 208 went down near St. Mary's Village after reported missing the same day. Later that day, the wreckage was discovered. Only a couple of names of the victims have been released, but there has been no comments or information on the families. U.S. Coast Guard, state troopers, and Life Med Alaska responded to the scene. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating. Ciara?
Police have asked for assistance from the public in locating a suspect who is connected to an armed robbery that occurred in Harlem a month ago. According to officials, the event occurred at 8:20 on Halloween night at a Subway sandwich shop at 455 East 116th Street. The store clerk stated that the man entered the sandwich shop and pointed his handgun at the clerk. He immediately demanded money, removed an undetermined amount of cash from the cash register, and fled the scene without harming anyone. The police stated that the suspect is a black male wearing a dark-colored hooded sweatshirt, and they asked that if anyone has any information to please contact the NYPD Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-577-TIPS. Desiree?
A University of Hawaii football player died after a large wave swept over him on Hawaii Beach early Saturday. The Honolulu Fire Department recovered the body of 21-year-old Willis Wilson around 7:30 a.m., 3 hours after he vanished from the beach. Wilson and 2 other people were in knee-deep when the wave hit them. The 2 other people were unable to find him after recovering from the wave. The Hawaii football coach Norm Chow made a statement saying that they were very saddened by this news. Ciara?
Despite the cold, bitter weather, the 87th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was a success. More than 3.5 million people attended the annual event. There were high school bands from across the nation, Sonic the Hedgehog balloons, singers, Big Apple floats, and Santa himself. As usual, Santa Claus arrived at the end of the parade, bringing festive cheer to the crowds. Desiree?
The world's ugliest dog, 8-year-old Elwood, died unexpectedly on Thanksgiving morning. He was a Chihuahua and a Chinese crested mix. The dog became famous after winning the world's most ugliest dog contest at the 2007 Arizona County Fair. Elwood worked tirelessly, raising money for a nonprofit or animal organizations. Elwood died on his own hands and was known internationally. Ciara?
Thank you for watching the Rosa Report. This is WMSC Channel 8 News. I'm Ciara Renee Rosa alongside Desiree Rosa. Have a nice day.